You know how when you go watch a movie, and I do this a lot when I go watch like a superhero movie, or like when I watch the Fast and Furious movies and I get in the car, or even when I'm walking out the theater, I feel like I can do what the niggas was just doing on the screen. Like that's how I feel right now.
It felt good watching a movie of this scale where ain't nobody got no powers or no mythological beings. It was just nigga throwing hands. You feel me?
This movie had a budget of $250 million, and you could see every fucking dollar. This motherfucker.
Rappers would have had like machine gun arms and shit in this movie.
The set design of this movie is fucking crazy. Like, I don't know how much is green screen and digital effects because I can't tell. Because this shit looked great.
We got some accuracy because these Roman niggas was filthy fucking animals, man. We romanticize the Roman Empire so much with these shows and shit. Like we don't ever show like these niggas like they didn't have a choice but to be dirty. Like
he had that like quiet intensity thing down pat because there were scenes where he would just like stare and not talk, and then he would say like one thing and be like, I won't fight for you.
Bro, aim for the head. We learned this shit in Endgame. Go for the head. Niggas back then literally used to sit around in coliseums and eat popcorn and watch niggas get killed in real life. If you die for my entertainment, and then, it's not really a death.
They didn't build the Coliseum for profit. It was a symbol of what the city represented, right? So they built it with thousands of people over years and years of actual fucking labor. That's why it's still standing today.
Okay, go watch it.
Do it.
It was amazing.
Yeah, go see it. Hey everybody.
It's the gang, and it's our very first fresh out review. But luckily with all three of us this time. So we literally have just came home from seeing Gladiator 2 on XD at Cinemark. We went to the Thursday night premiere, so by the time this video is out, it should be out. So just know there will be spoilers in this review.
Hella spoilers.
It'll start probably light, and I'll also warn you again once we get into like the actual review portion. But there will be spoilers. I know how people feel, but yeah. So yeah, guys, how y'all feeling? Did y'all all right?
You know how when you go watch a movie, and I do this a lot when I go watch like a superhero movie, or like when I watch the Fast and Furious movies and I get in the car, or even when I'm walking out the theater, I feel like I can do what the niggas was just doing on the screen. Like that's how I feel right now.
Oh, go ahead.
I would say I have like this one. I kind of had a different feeling because it's a lot of like family stuff in this one in some way. So I was like, man, I need to come see my wife. Aww. After this, and then I had a feeling I needed to walk in my son's room and just watch him sleep for a second. It's like a lot of family stuff in this one. Kind of kid stuff in movies hits different now, so that's kind of how I felt after this one. But Diamond, I've definitely done that before. Like I felt like, damn, this shit real. I can feel it.
Don't even know what I can do.
But I was telling Dawn on the way home from the film that I'm glad. Well, I didn't say this, but I thought it. Glad we didn't have to wait for an after credit scene.
Yeah, nice.
Like I told him, it felt good watching a movie of this scale where ain't nobody got no powers or no mythological beings. It was just nigga throwing hands. You feel me?
But also like just a pure movie.
I missed that factor. It was like going to see Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Like those movies aren't really. So it was really good to like just sit down.
This is cinema.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese all the way.
Christopher Nolan would have loved this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Uh-huh. If you don't know, obviously this is a sequel. It's called Gladiator to the original Gladiator film, also directed by Ridley Scott. I'm glad he came to return to do it. So from, if you're not well versed in filmography, Alien, Blade Runner, the original Gladiator, American Gangster, several movies, Big Time Award winner. Crazy enough, he's 86, bro. So he directed this movie in his 80s, and what a beautiful movie, to be honest with you. But so original Gladiator came out in the year 2000, if you can believe it. Production on that movie began in 1999, and the movie was released on May 5th, 2000. It grossed $465 million worldwide on a budget of $103 million, and it won a fuck ton of awards. It won 5 awards at the Academy Awards. Best Picture, Best Actor for Russell Crowe. best visual effects, best sound, best costume design. I can definitely feel like this one will be nominated for some of those categories for sure, because this movie had a budget of $250 million, and you could see every fucking dollar of this motherfucker.
If they don't win anything, they
great.
definitely should win best costume design.
Yes. Yeah, Denzel was out here looking like a drip. That boy had golden robes, scarlet robes. What the interesting part about the original Gladiator and this one is that although the name Gladiator 2, the trailers did not give away much of the connection to the first one at all. So like if you watch any of the trailers for Gladiator 2, it didn't like lean on the Gladiator 1 at all in the trailers. I just remember in the last trailer, they barely showed the woman from the first movie, the only returning character. She's in the trailer for like 1 second at the end of the trailer for Gladiator 2. So I did not know what the connection was going to be in this movie. And I think that is probably one of my favorite parts about after watching it was like, I'm glad I didn't know beforehand, like the connection. Because me and Diamond kind of realized at the same time in the theater, we're like, oh, is this? Yeah, okay. Because the first question she asked was that question. And then we got it answered like 10 minutes later.
I'm going to say I was leaning more towards that being the case.
It makes sense that it was.
Yeah. But now...
Yeah.
Chris did not see the first one. You haven't seen the first one.
It just
you didn't see the first one.
Chris not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, so as a person who hasn't seen the first one, did you feel lost in any capacity?
No, not at all.
So
again, there you go. Because I know what Gladiator was. Like I'm aware that it's a Coliseum.
Yeah, I mean
they're slaves.
Like I wouldn't say you have to see the first one to get this movie in any way. You could definitely get context. It would just add more like kind of spice to it if you saw it. But like for me, I literally watched it again this morning at work. So I got to see both today. So it was interesting watching both the same day. But I was telling Chris in the car, so like Gladiator 2, so it just came out. That's 24 years ago that movie came out, right? Gladiator 2 was in development literally right afterwards. So it was in development in 2001 for Gladiator 2. I was trying to tell Chris like the story of it, and then I'm glad I found it here because it went through so many iterations. Basically, they were working through some scripts, and they were going back and forth if they wanted to be like a sequel or a prequel timeline. So the first one was... It was supposed to be set 15 years later, and then it was basically Lucius, the son of Lucilla and Gladiator, searching for the truth about his father. That would be the story of it. But then they announced, and then they switched in 2002. In December, they said it was going to be about the prequel about the true parentage of Lucius, as well as sequel events depicting the resurrection of Maximus. It gets crazier. So that was the original idea. And he said in 2003 the script was finished and he was going to shop it around. So then in 2006, basically, DreamWorks had a deal together to finally make the movie. But then once again, they were differing things. Like, see, Russell Crowe wanted a fantasy element. Like, this is what I was telling you. I said they wanted some kind of fantasy sci-fi element to it. And because he wanted something like crazy to bring Maximus back to life. And then DreamWorks wanted to make it more grounded, like about Lucilla and her son, once again, the parentage, like about finding his father. They went back to that. And then Ridley Scott was also, we should also bring out stuff about the corruption of Rome is something he wanted to touch, which was something we saw he brought back with this one. He kind of kept that. Oh,
yeah. White man.
So here's where it gets crazy. So he got like a playwright to help him write the script for this crazy sci-fi one. And the script name was Christ Killer. Okay. So stay with me now. This was the main idea before it went into development purgatory. So I'm going to read it verbatim. The story involved Maximus in purgatory, so he's dead. And then the Roman gods resurrect him as an immortal warrior. He said, then Maximus is sent back to Earth and tasked with ending Christianity by killing Jesus and his disciples, as Christianity was draining the power of the ancient pagan gods. During his mission, Maximus is tricked into murdering his own son. Then since he's cursed to live forever, Maximus fights through the Crusades, World War II, and the Vietnam War. And the movie ends revealing him in the present day, and he works at the Pentagon. That was the big script that they came up with. Ridley Scott gave this script to Steven Spielberg, and Steven Spielberg said, no, this is not going to work. And he called it too grand of a vision. So they shelved it. And then it finally, and it went in development hell. And then finally in November 2018, and by that point, DreamWorks got bought by Paramount. So Paramount finally greenlit it in 2018. So it took 18 years to even get finally greenlit. And then I think they said the script was finished in 2021, right after he was started work on Napoleon, which is another one of his films.
With
Joaquin
Joker.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Finally made it to here, and then $250 million later, we have Gladiator 2, and it's projected to do $75 million on the U.S. weekend. It's already been out, I believe, in Europe and Australia, so it's already made money.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to make its
quite a bit
back.
of money too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
I heard like 100 already.
Let me check real quick for you.
All I want to say is I'm so glad that they scrapped that Christ killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably would have.
But imagine that was an idea back in like 2003, right?
Rabbits would have had like machine gun arms in this movie. Very far. Like, how do we go from
just a gladiator fight?
Like eating grapes and drinking wine.
Immortal Warrior.
Yeah, what the fuck
and
are
I'm
we
glad
talking
they didn't
about?
go
Ridley
on
Scott?
the line of we're gonna put something supernatural in this movie and bring him back. His death was it was important to both movies, and it made so much sense for both.
Yeah,
movies.
You can't. I don't like Resurrection just because like the guy wants to play him again. I think Ridley Scott actually told him at one point after that was denied, like, if you come back, you need to be a different character or just like somebody who looks like him. So like, oh, is that Maximus? No, I'm not.
Yeah, he fat and old now.
Yeah, so just went in on
even
Russell
whenever
Crowe.
I remember when it came out that Russell Crowe was upset that they were doing the movie and he wasn't in it. He was like, "How can it be a Gladiator movie and I'm not in it?" Type shit. So you got 80 pounds heavier and like.
For what I read, Scott was in contact with him the whole time.
I think he.
I would see no purpose for him to be in this movie other than flashbacks.
And he was kind of sort of. They used all parts of the film, of the first film.
But okay, well, so Gladiator 2 made $87 million in the international box office.
That was close.
It's going to make about number 65, 75 this weekend here in America.
I will go see that again.
Yeah, it's good. So I was going to do our scale for the reviews once we get into it as see it, stream it, or pass. That was going to do. So yeah, let's get into it. So this movie is 16 years after the first one. Basically, they're like, it starts like saying like, hey, the dream that the motherfuckers had didn't happen. This shit about to die. That's basically what the little excerpt at the beginning said. And these little weird ass twins are running the bitch now. You see Rome invading this last free part of Africa that they haven't touched yet. And that's where you meet our main character. Let me say his new name real quick. I know it's Paul Mescal is the actor. Hano. Yeah. Hano. Him and his wife. And then him and his wife are both in the army there. She's an archer and he's a swordsman. And then they get busy against the Romans. And then cue the beginning of Gladiator 1. Boy gets knocked out and ends up in slavery. And then we're on our way. So like I said, there's only one returning character from the original one. It's Lucilla, played by Connie Nielsen. Still looks great. Recently, she was in Wonder Woman. She was Wonder Woman's mommy in that one. So she was the queen.
Right there.
She
was the queen. Yeah, she looked
great.
good, man. Pedro Pascal in this bitch. And then, of course, that boy Denzel. And I'm here to tell you, Denzel is probably having the best time of his life.
Yes,
boy,
so much
a lot of fun.
Movie.
Even the press.
He's been having a blast. And then Joseph Quinn, up and coming. He's definitely on his way. That boy has been on a phenomenal run, and it continues here. He plays a maniac. So like
Joseph Quinn and
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, they're both going to be in this Fantastic
Four,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, I'm trying to feel how like the beginning, how much I want to talk about the. If you've seen Gladiator 1, it's very similar to that one. Not gonna lie, it's retreading a lot of that stuff, except the handler is Denzel in this one, and there's more of a mystery on like who the guy is than because the first one you knew who he was, Maximus General. Got mistaken identity type shit, and then this one is like, yo, this kid knows a lot about fucking Rome. Who is this guy? And then he fucking hates Rome with a passion, like heavy passion, and he's trying to go after Pedro Pascal. That's kind of like what they set it up as. And then Denzel's like, I'll bring you that motherfucking head. So that's where we go. So first, I'm just gonna go off like the set. The set design of this movie is fucking crazy. Like, I don't know how much is green screen and digital effects because I can't tell. Because this shit looked great. I mean, obviously, like the baboon fight was CG, but like
the rhino,
but the naval battle had to have been in that shit was crazy.
Like a historian said that they actually
did so people. I remember when the trailer dropped and they showed that people were like, "Is this really happen?" And a historian said they used to actually flood the Coliseum and have naval battles at some point, which is crazy.
Died so many lifetimes.
Yeah, I would never make it in this time period. There's no way.
Yeah, I would have did exactly what that one guy did at the monkey battle. Just lay down.
Just sit down.
He said he was ready to die. Like,
he was basically going to die from infection no matter what he did because his arm was just like...
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Just open.
Yeah. Off rip, you were talking about the set. I was thinking more along the lines of like aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like Dominette texted us during the film and was like, hey, these boys dripped out, which we already kind of spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
I pointed out the fact that I've seen multiple flies flying around inside the palace, in the city, like that you can see a fly clearly past the camera. And I'm like, yes, finally we got some accuracy because these Roman niggas was filthy fucking animals, man. Filthy.
Well, everybody.
Yeah, but like them in particular, because we romanticize the Roman Empire so much with these shows and shit. Like there was rats running, and as soon as I said that, like a rat rode by, and I was like, "See, one
thing I pointed out was, yes, they're filthy, but I would see a rat and they would just be chilling. I'm like, so niggas wasn't scared of rats back then? But that's just because that was just normal for them. They were dirty as fuck.
They were just part of the aesthetic.
This rat lives with me.
No, we don't fuck with rats in human form or marsupial, mammal, whatever the fuck it is. The second part that I realized was like the hairstyle, like Denzel, for instance. By now, y'all seen the trailer and how Denzel looked, how he's kept.
Yeah,
like niggas was not cutting fades like that back in the day. Like, there's no way, there's no fucking way that was like, yeah, give me a 2. The goatee was goateeing, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
and homeboy who did just lay down with the baboons.
Chris,
I know you said it was like tribal, but still.
It was probably tribal, bro, because it was African.
Sure it was accurate.
Yeah,
it was African.
It might have been accurate. And then I asked, like, and which Dawn also said it might have been a tribal thing, but like, how did they know that they could dread someone's head? Like, what was the process? Like,
see, whatever, now it's a process. Like, back then, their hair would just lock. Like, if we don't do anything to our hair, it'll lock. So they didn't have combs and brushes. Now it's something we, try to keep kept together. But that it came from somewhere.
Oh, that makes sense.
But yeah, so set looks credible. I would say there wasn't really a weak actor in this movie.
They said put your best hitters in.
So when they had the grimy parts of the city, they were grimy. The shiny parts of the city were shiny. Like they had it really showed a lot of politics stuff in it. I was not expecting as much as it showed. The battle between the Senate and them trying to retain control of the city. That was part of the first one, but like this is like they're like having secret meetings and shit, like trying to figure out what to do. And like I said, Denzel's just literally living his best life. Pedro Pascal continues to be a beast. I don't think I've seen him in a bad movie yet or a bad thing yet. He's picking some good shit. And I haven't really seen Paul Mescal in much. So like seeing him play a lead role, like pretty fucking good, I will say. Like he had that like quiet intensity thing down pat. because there were scenes where he would just like stare and not talk, and then he would say like one thing and be like, "I won't fight for you." He'd be like, "I won't fight."
Yeah.
So let's just like the general conceit from this movie is like, where is the boy from Gladiator 1? That's like the first thing Diamond said. Like, where's her son at? She pops up fairly early. I didn't know she was gonna have like, such a prominent role in this movie. She's in this motherfucker the whole time. She's been remarried to Pedro Pascal's character, who is a general in the army, who is sick of this shit. You could tell by him walking around. He's just like, I'm so tired of doing this shit. For these two crazy motherfuckers.
I thoroughly enjoyed them though.
Let me know when we could get to the cons of the film.
But the general thing is like, where's the kid?
I got to be real.
So the Paul Mescal is Lucius. They basically said that whenever old boy got murked from the first one, they were scrambling to find an heir, so she sent him away so he would get killed, and she never came back for him, so he ended up like in some African colony, and he's been there ever since, and he fights his way back due to slavery, and he got bought by Denzel. Denzel's like, I'm gonna use you as an instrument. I'm gonna bring you, something, so he is Lucius, and I thought that was cool. Like Diamond said, the two emperors are supposed to be twins. They're weird as fuck, and they're definitely crazy. One is literally crazy, like literally. And the secret twist, I would say, that they tried to throw at you is like, who is the real villain in this movie? Because, he wants to kill the general because his wife got killed in that battle. And then you're like, oh, but maybe it's the emperors because they crazy as fuck. But the real bad guy the whole time was Denzel Washington.
Of course it was Denzel.
My man was playing the long game. You
could tell from just the beginning what he was.
Yeah, I knew he was up to something, but the way they set this up was you think it's going to be everybody else. But he does do the thing where every time something happens, he's like doing like some like
calculated move. I will say they did Denzel's role well. Like even at the beginning, you didn't know if his intentions were pure or not. At least if he was doing all this because he knew who old boy was and he was trying to get him a position.
Yeah.
Like it was Denzel's character could have went so many different ways and it would have worked.
He was very smart.
Yeah, I even think if they would have went the other way, like the way that the road to like less grief, I guess, it still would have been a great film. If Denzel was like a true, like, I knew all along that you were going to be the one to bring Rome from the darkness. He, like either way, he still would have had to play the long game.
Yeah, because
he was. I mean, never mind.
He was a former slave who won his freedom and then worked his way up all the way to like literally whining and dining with the senators and the emperors and everything. And he was like very prominent gladiator house. Like his gladiators do well. So yeah, other than that, like the plot is pretty similar to the first one. There's a couple gladiator battles. Truths are revealed. People die a lot.
The lady tries to stage a coup.
The deaths in this movie are more brutal than the first one, I will say that. But probably because they had a lot of money. So like they went all out for those deaths.
Amazing.
Yeah. There was a rhino death.
Monkeys.
Sharks, yes.
And that's why I don't trust them motherfuckers.
Yeah, that was a scary ass monkey.
They had a fucking rhino's head on the table.
They were just eating rhino.
The salt from the...
But one thing that is not in this movie is any sexual stuff. Like, so there's no orgies, nothing like that. It's
wonderful.
So they didn't waste any time with Spartacus style, like, let's take a break and have 10 minutes of porn for some reason.
Yeah.
And this whole shit went to fucking shit because of one snitching ass maid, bro.
Messy
that was crazy.
Bitch.
They in every era, Diamond. I said
every era.
It don't matter.
They had been here since the beginning of the time. I seen, as soon as her little stupid ass was hiding in that corner looking at them, I'm like, get the fuck off with this bitch head.
All right, so Chris, see it, stream it, or pass?
See it and stream it.
No. What I mean by that is like, would you go out of the way to see it in the theater, or wait for it to come on streaming? Is what I mean by that, or pass?
I would go to the theater to see it.
Okay.
Definitely
you,
see
Dom?
it.
That's hard to ask.
No. It's not hard to ask. It was hard for you to
it.
answer because you're a little slow.
See it, stream it, or skip it.
Yeah, because like after seeing it, was like, would I pay to see this again in the theater? Like, is this? Do I need to see this in theater, or should I wait for it to stream? Like, would this be a movie I'd rather watch the stream? Because there's like definitely like Red One, for instance. I'm not gonna pay money to go see that movie, right?
It's
Refuse to go
definitely
see
a
that.
movie.
But I see everybody talking
If y'all
shit
are
about
listening to this, I know we've spoiled some shit, but you know what? It doesn't matter because it's not about how long it takes to get there. Just just get there. But if you have the opportunity to go see it in theater, go see that shit in theater. Like there's nothing like that movie experience. And this is one of those movies that you're not gonna get that full. You watch it at home for sure, but you're not gonna get that full. Like you need to go see that shit.
Yeah, and, like I said, I tapped on and was like, I gotta go pee, but I did not want to get up and miss anything.
Miss any moments.
Yeah.
Also, another underrated part of it, I think we mentioned was the sound design of this movie. Like, it sounded really good. Like, because usually in movies like this, where it's like so busy with so many people, like it's hard. Some things get lost in translation, but like I didn't get lost on any verbiage. Even when the guys were like announcing in the Coliseum, I was like, I could hear what he was saying. And then every little side conversation. So like whoever did the sound design, good job. I mean, the music wasn't like nothing spectacular, but I mean it did the job. So, what are your dislikes, Chris? You have some cons. I have a few as well, but
I don't know if there's really dislikes per se. I would like to know where the twins came from. To me, Joseph Quinn's character, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
His character reminded me of Phoenix a bit. I feel like even in the eyes with the mascara, the crown, I was like, okay, maybe there's some relation between them. I was thinking maybe those could have been his children, but Dalton said that he died before he could get kids, I guess. But I would have liked to know how they came to be Rome or whatever. To go back to the Mandalorian dude,
Pedro Pascal.
So when we first get to the village, where homie's wife got killed and all that shit, like y'all said, we all noticed like he went to war, he did what he had to do, was supposed to. You could tell he was a soldier through and through. But as soon as the fighting was over and they had to like burn the village down or whatever, like you could see he was like distraught. Like
he was tired of this shit.
Yeah. Going back home, talk to the shorty, be like, yo, I'm sick of this. You feel me?
Yeah, he said, I'm tired of
we gotta
conquering for vanity, is what he said.
Right. Which led me to believe, like, okay, so if he actually felt like what he was fighting for was like justified to him, he would still do it. But the fact that it's them that is like commanding it and it's for these reasons, I don't want to do it. And I don't know. That kind, I get it, but it still kind of like rubbed me the wrong way.
That's a historical thing though, because Maximus was all about that. If you watch the first one,
right,
he'd always say like, the emperor, like, why do you fight? He's like, for the glory of Rome. That's like literally the answer he always gave. Like, this is all for Rome. Like, and then like his mom said, everything I do is for Rome. I just won't sacrifice my son's life. That's all. Like, I mean, even in 300, the Spartans died. They went into battle to die because they'd rather die.
But even their cause seemed to be more just than.
Yeah, but
I can kill you.
What I'm saying is, like, he was just the general. He was just doing what he's told, but he's just like, I'm sick of this shit. But
my last little gripe is I feel like Maximus' son, or I don't know anybody's name in the film. I wasn't paying attention. Like Lucius and the Mandalorian. Their fight was dope. It was cool, but I felt like he just like forgave that shit too easy. For as much rage as he had built up towards him, for him to drop down to his knees, I yield and then be like, I know who you are and I love you and I loved your dad. And he was like, we're not gonna die. And if we're gonna die together. Like, what, bro?
No. So, okay.
saying don't forgive him. So
I think what happened there, Chris,
I didn't see it.
Was that him surrendering was like, because since he's a general, you know, his mind, he was like, I'm just killing because I'm a general, right? Like I'm gonna so he literally gave up a fight that he was clearly gonna win, and he said, "Look, you can do what you have to do, like, but I love your mother, I loved your father, I would have died for him in a heartbeat, and I know who you are." And basically, like the emperor telling him to kill him is like, I'm not going to kill him because you told me to, right? So he put down his sword. And then the reason he kneeled was because he knew this boy's going to die. He going to get axed. He going to get killed. Yeah. So he went out on his own terms instead of being like, he was like, I'm going to sit here in like defiance, but I'm going to like stay with you while you die type of thing. Mm-hmm. And then once he watched him die, you kind of realize the moment like, oh, this isn't what I wanted. That's why he got like, he took a moment and then made that little speech. This is how you treat your champions, because he realized like, this shit didn't make me feel better, bro. Yeah. Like this shit is just. He's like, this part is all this is this shit that's all fucked up about this place. I'm tired of this shit too. So I think that's what it was. I do agree that it was like, it felt like it was like a switch. Yeah. But I mean, when you have like a deep moment like that, like I'm just like, you're literally at the face of the man. Like he didn't directly kill your wife, but he was definitely at fault for your wife's, because your wife asked one of his men, he's like, there's an archer there, shoot her. And then
of course he didn't know who she was. Still, like, homie, I'm like, bro, y'all taking everything from me. Let me to go back right quick. When his mom first came to the cell, and she was like, do you know who I am? My first thought, I'm pretty sure he knew that was his mom immediately. Like if they said that shit happened 16 years ago, when it happened, I'm like, bro, you didn't forget your mom. No, like I know you went through a lot of shit.
He noticed her. Like he knew. That was the whole point of his speech. He was like, if your son was here, like that version, that little boy you knew, he's dead.
Yeah.
But that's why he stabbed the ground with his sword and grabbed the dirt, because that's what Maximus did. That's the whole reason he did that. To be like, yeah, I'm here, motherfucker. You know I'm here. And Denzel figured that shit out real quick.
He figured it out with they look. When he walked out and they both looked at each other, even though they still, they didn't make it that obvious, but both of them kind of knew who each other was. Like she knew that was her son. He knew that was his mom.
Well, anything else you don't like in the movie?
I don't think I have any more quorums other than that.
So on the part when you said that he forgave him pretty easily, what I think that whole thing was for him, like the entire journey of the movie was forgiveness, because one thing that Denzel kept touching on was that oh boy had rage inside of him. Essentially what I feel like at the end, when he kind of like surrendered with the guy, it was more so like, we're all in this. Like I've sat here and had to kill people for my own survival. You did this for your survival. We're a part of this bullshit that was created of Rome, and like this is something that I want to be better. So I don't even necessarily think it was him forgiving him. It was like him just forgiving himself, like him getting to the point where I'm no longer filled by rage. I'm only filled by, I need this shit to change. And the change can't end if I just sacrifice you. Like I'm still, I became this gladiator, but and my wife was killed, but she ain't die in vain. I'm going to be a better man.
That was very profound, Diamond.
Thank you.
Good shit. So do you have anything you dislike,
actually
Diamond,
love the movie. A 10 out of 10, 0 stars. I mean, oh shit. 10 stars.
Yeah. 0 stars.
10s across the board. I think it was a great movie. Sounds was awesome. Like I said, they brought out their best actors and actresses. The storyline was great. The character development, the build-up, everything was great. It did not feel rushed. I lied. There is one thing I kind of dislike, just a teeny tiny bit, and it's just the villain in me. Yeah. I really wanted like all them niggas to fight. Like at the end when the armies rolled up on each other, yes, fight each other, die. I wanted more death, and that's a me problem.
I feel like that's what it was like, subverting our expectations, because we were all expecting that to happen.
Robbie pulled back up with them niggas like, yeah, bitch.
And then I do like they let them get their ones out.
I wish that fight had been a little bit longer.
We're gonna let them.
I don't like how bro just kept stabbing his chest. Bro, aim for the head. Go for the head. What are you doing?
And this timeline, Endgame obviously hadn't happened yet. 3, whatever.
This is part of the multiverse.
Exactly.
Saga.
Time isn't linear. We don't know.
No. I like Denzel wasn't a pushover when they fought though. Like he actually was giving him some work, like age and all. And I think Denzel kind of echoed like some truth when he was talking to the twins. Like the people are gonna turn on y'all, bro. Like they tired for real. And even the general of Rome's army, he was kind of like, fuck, like it was the look on his face. So like when he let them get their ones like that, like because if I'm a bad guy of the bad guy army, or I'm doing what I think is justifiable for my country, I'm not gonna let you run up on senator or whatever the fuck Denzel became. Like I'm a bad guy, nigga. We finna fight. But he was like, no, let them shoot the fair one. He told his niggas calm down. And the other side, obviously, I mean, I don't know, bro. Niggas be too trusting in movies for me. A nigga pulled up on you with a ring, and he was like, "This is from who?"
Look,
and blah blah blah. Like,
Chris, you're thinking of a time period that we're in now. You got to understand.
There's still honor and valor and shit.
Not
right?
even. It's more than that though. All they had was word is bond, right? Like, and also like he knew that ring was his, like, cause like
right. Again,
that ring.
What if I killed him?
You was a bold.
But why would someone send a messenger all the way to them? Because the only people that knew the army was over there
was them niggas.
Was the people involved with the plan.
Right. So if I take the homeboy, kidnap him, beat him,
they knew that bro wasn't gonna do that.
Go up.
Because
for me, I would have been like,
why would they know the significance to send the ring back and be like, this is Lucius. Lucius sent me with this ring. Like that would be like, yo,
beat
what?
the out of him, medieval style.
He knows if he's dead, if you did kill him, you didn't get information from him.
Yeah, but the ring also showed like, yo, your boy's dead, but I'm gonna send you a message to still come because we still at it.
Also, you know what?
Also, Chris, it's a movie. Just like you can't, if you got into the weeds about everything about every movie, no movie would make sense.
But another thing is, they were soldiers, right? Their one job was war, so it didn't matter if they was walking into a trap or not. They was like, "This is what we do. We fight."
And then they were loyal to that general. So if he said go, I'm going, bro.
So either way, if it was a trap, like we finna go fight to help, or we finna fight to kill y'all because y'all killed our general.
Because you see, the doctor asked him, he's like, hey, "Can I trust you, bro? Like, can I really do this?" And then he said, "Yeah." He said, "All right, bet." And he rode a horse across county lines.
That shit blew me. I was like, damn. I just sent a text to y'all.
I'm telling y'all right now, I like if they would like if I was like alive for every period, I would die in like every one of them.
Immediately.
There's not one that I would have survived.
Yeah.
Man.
Immediately.
Nah. This shit too cutthroat, bro. But
y'all know another thing about these movies when it's a real thing, like people are in the Coliseum. So nowadays, like me, I watch crime killing movies all the time. Like I go to sleep to crime shows. And people talk about like, oh, this isn't normal. Niggas back then literally used to sit around in Coliseums and eat popcorn and watch niggas get killed in real life.
Don't say that shit in the car.
They
genuinely had fun with public executions. They were eating that shit up. So now, death is just something that's fascinating.
They would be like, "Hey, Damascus, I got us front row seats at the Coliseum." You're like, "Damn,
Damascus is crazy."
Damn, Jethro. And then you pop up with
and they was out there. They were having fun. They were cheering, like.
And they had the armed security. This would like fire arrows into the crowd for unruly people. Like they were just out here doing wild shit.
So did they have something right?
What?
Like to murder being so normal to them was that.
Public executions were a thing.
Yeah.
Now murder's frowned upon.
Well, obviously, yes.
So I'm asking. If we miss a step.
No, like here's the weird part. Like, because like they didn't tolerate murder per se, right? Like, so like if like you were like out in the street, like the normal street, right? And I just walked up to someone and stabbed them, I would get arrested back in the time.
You would be publicly executed. They're going to chop off your head.
I would be executed outside.
Okay.
They didn't consider what they were doing murder because it was battle.
If you die for my entertainment, it's not really a death.
But that's what Conqueror Nations were all about, was that kind of shit. It was displays of power. That's what Denzel was talking about. This shit was built on power, which he wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
But any of those big, like we were talking about Persia, they were also big on this type of shit. They just had a different version of it, right? but Persia had the biggest army on the planet. They could wipe anybody out.
Me a Persian woman.
Here we go.
But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to always seeing these period pieces though, like because you're always reminded, like, "Nah, this shit was crazy." Just
the dope shit about watching period pieces to me. Again, we talk about this with music, like Q-Tip having to like sample records off of the records. The feats that they were able to accomplish, that like you and I can visualize, think of, Google how to build. These niggas was just going off the muscle, bro. I know they were able to draw schematics, all that shit, but like they were building busts out of marble and granite, and like these shits was like detailed as fuck. Like Dawn was telling me, like the Coliseum, maybe half of it's still standing right now. Like,
it still exists.
And there's been all these years that passed, eons and millennia and shit like that. And this shit's just crazy, bro. Because you can't even buy a car right now without that bitch breaking down.
Yeah, so the feats of engineering were what those places were known for, right? Like I was talking about Egypt with the pyramids, right?
Fathom that for real, bro.
Look at the sculptures they used to make, Chris.
That shit.
They used to make perfect sculptures out of stone. They had smooth surfaces, and that was done with a chisel.
Crazy, bro.
Because craftsmanship was pure craftsmanship, right?
Yeah.
They didn't build the Colosseum for profit. It was a symbol of what the city represented, right? So they built it with thousands of people over years and years of actual fucking labor. Like
niggas died building that
Quite
shit.
literally.
Oh, I'm sure daily. Heads crushed, everything. But that's why it's still standing today. That thing is made of pure stone and marble. That thing is built.
Made from
right?
I know telling how many gallons of blood is all over that bitch. That it would have took for them to build the Coliseum and then go and add the water aspect. Like, we're going to turn it into a little miniature.
Yeah, like to be able to do that.
Like,
and then where they get the water from? They had water hoses.
To ask Dawn, because I didn't want to sound dumb, I was like, is Rome still around? They still out there?
You're so adorable.
They're technically Italians, but yes.
Right.
Is Rome still here?
Okay.
But it's just the empire of Rome is gone, but the city still exists. Yeah.
You just say if you would watch it, stream it, or skip it.
Oh yeah. Definitely see it. I mean, we saw it in XD. I think it's the way to go. See it in a big ass screen. That shit looked magnificent.
A movie this scale, definitely want to see it in theaters. Pretty much all those movies, like any movie that's came out recently that is on streaming now, but I actually went to the theater to watch it.
Yeah, you have
Dune 2.
Like, but see, those kind of people, like those directors that make, like, you know, like Christopher Nolan made that movie for IMAX, right? Like Oppenheimer for IMAX. Ridley Scott made this for the big, like you could tell, like the way he framed everything. This shit's supposed to be big because it's supposed to feel big. And but yeah, I would say it's one of the best movies I've seen this year, bar none, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
A really great movie. I'm glad I went to go see it.
It's good. It's like, because like I said, like it's pure cinema. It was definitely good, and I can't wait to like watch it again to see, like, pick out more stuff on it.
If you have to give best supporting actor and best actor from just this film, who are you giving it to and why?
Oh, like the best actor?
Yeah, and then supporting.
Okay, so there's two best actors. Okay.
Well, best supporting,
because technically the lead character is Paul Mescal, and then everybody else is supporting actor for that.
Yeah, but was Denzel better than
Denzel? Was the best.
So he would get best supporting actor,
and then I'm giving the secondary to Pedro Pascal.
Dang, that's crazy. Y'all want to hear mine? Paul Mescal, and then supporting for Denzel. He did amazing. He did really amazing. It was nothing, but it was just, it's Denzel. Like, I expected that from him, but oh boy, really impressed me. So I'm gonna give it to him, and then Denzel gets best supporting.
Nah, Denzel got me alone when he was like, and then we do that, and that's politics.
Oh yeah, what did he say to that dude?
When he was drunk and got behind that girl, I was like, yo, he really liked me for real.
He said,
no, what did he tell that white dude? He was like, everything is wrong. You didn't lick it or something.
Yeah,
that was a bar.
Yeah.
You know about it or you tasted
it. He did amazing.
And he said,
but that's what I expect from Denzel in every movie he watches.
Yeah.
And he also said, he's like, this is my house now.
It's okay.
He said, pack now, quickly.
Yeah.
And then kissed that nigga hand and walked out. I own your house.
Yeah.
I
No,
want
He
your
said,
loyalty.
yeah, I own your house. I want your
loyalty. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Give it to
Denzel been smacked it, man.
I give it to the boy, the one. You know what I'm saying? Every movie got that.
You talking about Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal?
I asked Donna if they was
Of
brothers
course
at
you
the
did.
beginning of the
But no, I get it.
their last names they're similar, and they kind of like they could
They
be in
could
the
be
same
cousins.
family. Like they do favor each other a bit. Yeah, for sure. But I give it to the boy. I know this might not be popular, but little brother, both the brothers, I feel like they were the same. So like them acting in conjunction of each other was like one whole person to me.
Yeah.
But once I'm guessing Joseph's character was the older brother.
Well, they were
Okay, now this
twins.
nigga, but like, one got to come out first, right?
Yeah, but
Okay,
but he was the sane one of the two because the other one, his brain was like
as sane as they could go. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well,
As
I'm
far
saying
as
because the other one actually had a mental condition. He was like his brain was deteriorating.
right. So he said
Yeah.
due to the infection in his loins.
So he had like syphilis or something
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and that boy elected his monkey to be like
Yeah.
some Michael Jackson shit for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think their balance of being off balance together, I think they did a good job. Though they didn't have that many speaking lines, Joseph Quinn, his intensity was there. Like when he came back from the war, he was like, "We got to celebrate," and he was like, "Ah, no, I would rather go to my wife." Like, you see how I was like, "Hold up!" Like I really thought he was gonna be more ruthless in the movie. I thought we was gonna see him stabbing niggas and shit.
Nah, you could tell he was just like straight pompous, pampered. Like he was just all about like, I'm gonna have people do that for me.
Oh no, I'm just my interpretation was like the intensity that he had in that scene, the introduction scene of him. I thought he was gonna get dirty.
I'll get
he
you killed
did
for
it,
dropping
but,
the hat. Yeah,
but showing that thing. So they would be my third runner up, but it would be the boy Denzel and then them. Of everybody that had more than even the doctor was dope.
I fuck with him heavy.
Yeah.
Their like his banter with the boy was
Lucius.
good too. I don't even know. Like, have y'all like the doctor didn't look familiar? It's like I don't know if I've seen him in anything.
Yes, I recognized him after a while after his voice. His name is Alexander Kareem. He is Swedish, actually.
Okay, I was very off.
He has been in a bunch of stuff, mostly television, a lot of foreign films. You see a lot of foreign movies. Golly, the American TV shows has been in The Wheel of Time, Maternal, and The Swarm.
But one more thing we need to talk about. Lucia's wife was a baddie. She was gorgeous as hell. With the tattoo, it was doing something for me.
And she spoke like twice.
Best 2 moments of my life.
Yeah.
Wait for me. Oh, she said, "I'll wait for you," or some.
Yeah. He saw her pass over.
And then the ring. You take this with you.
Yeah.
You go, you take
that was nice.
That was sentimental for you, dog. The mother to kids,
the parents, the parental sacrifices.
Parents.
I get it.
Tell you, I wanted to come in here and put my hand on my son's door and be like,
"One day you will be king."
Yeah,
Who was it at the end of the movie talking about some Simba?
That was me. Yeah.
No, it gave
Sky.
Look, because he grabbed the dirt and the sky started turning pink, and he said, "Father, speak to me." And then the clouds started gathering. I was like, Simba. Thought Russell Crowe's face was about to pop out, and he's about to say some shit.
Yeah,
it's great. Go see it. Recommend it.
So, what's the next film we're gonna review?
I don't know yet. It has to be something we all want to watch.
But also, another thing
movie,
for everyone that's listening, we are doing the Thanksgiving podcast, and we want people to call in so we can talk to all of y'all on Thanksgiving and share what we're thankful for.
Even if we don't know,
call me, beat me if you want to reach me. But yeah, so Thanksgiving, y'all not doing nothing. Pop in with the kids.
Yeah, we're gonna be drinking and being merry. But I'm down to see Sonic, obviously.
Okay.
And Diamond, I'll go with you to see Wicked because you asked. I will not be having a Wicked time.
The best time. It's gonna be great, and I'm gonna sing everything.
If you go to Alamo, they have a Wicked movie party.
I live right by Alamo, so what's up?
I don't want no whips and chains. Just let me know when you want to go.
Me and Katie are supposed to go see it too. I went to go see it on Broadway twice.
So.
So yeah, you're gonna be in there.
What did you just say, Chris?
Any final remarks about the film?
Yeah.
No, I
Great
said
film.
to
Go
see
watch
it.
it. It was amazing.
Yeah, go see it.
Do it.
Do it or else.
Yep. All right. Then I guess that's our first installment then.
What's this called again? Fresh Out Reviews.
Fresh Out Reviews.